What's going on? This is the Pete, and today I'm going to be talking about Diablo 4 beta and if it's a good game or a great game and what we could do to make it a better game before release and after release. I'll do a quick rundown on my history. I've played Diablo 1, loved it when I was fairly little. Played Diablo 2, really loved that game. Played it for years and years and years. I always played it, and just something about Diablo 2, you just always had to keep coming back. It was really set the standard at ARPGs. And then Path of Exile came along and just blew everything away. It was just a great game, super complex. And then Diablo 3 came out, and I wasn't happy with it at all, really. I didn't like Diablo 3. I played it for about 3 weeks, and I was done with it. Didn't buy the expansion or anything. So that's where I'm coming from. Now we're going to talk about Diablo 4. And I'm first going to start off with the good things. Is Diablo 4 a good game? Nice. Yes. In its current state, it is still a good game. It's a really good game. I really enjoyed myself. I went in this with an open mind, and we're going to start with all the things that Blizzard did right. An easy thing to miss? The graphics. It's just excellent. I mean, look at that right there. Wow, those are great graphics. I love the graphics. I love the architecture. I love just the way everything looks. Yeah, see these dungeons. I love the way the game feels. I love the way the game sounds. I love the way it plays. It just plays like Diablo should play. I mean, looks great. Plays better than Diablo 2. I'll just say it right there. I love the way things move. It's not clunky or anything. Plays better than Path of Exile as well. I haven't played Path of Exile lately, but I think, from what I remember, it plays better than Path of Exile. I'm not one for storylines and cinematics, but from what I've played, I really enjoyed the story and cinematics of Diablo 4. I mean, they're just great. It's a great story. It really gets you into it. I usually don't really care, but the story is good. They did a good job. They did a great job on the voice acting. It's just, wow. It's like it's a great time just going through the game at your own pace. User interface. A lot of people are bashing the user interface. You know, I'm a Diablo 2 guy. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is with the UI. I don't really know. I really don't know why people are bashing. And then they're bashing the text. I don't know what you want from text. It should be just, the text should be just the way it is. Readable. Very readable. That's the way it should be. I love the way that the crafting materials are on their own separate tabs, where you don't clunk up the inventory with a bunch of junk. Because at first I was like, oh man, there's going to be all this junk you have to collect to craft. But now that it's all just automatically put away to its own separate spot, it's not really a bad thing. I don't mind it at all. The crafting, as it stands, could lead more. Crafting is on the little weak side. So those are all the great things about Diablo. It's just a great game to casually play, and that's it. But was Diablo 2 just a great game? No, Diablo 2 was a game that set the standard, and it was a standard in excellence, and it really set the standard for years and years to come. It really did. It was genre changing, okay? It was the level of complexity and all that, and customization. A lot of people, casual players, don't understand why the veterans of the genre continue to come back to Diablo 2, because they think that it's just one, or you press one or two buttons, and no, there's when you really get into the nitty gritty, there's a lot more than that. If you really think about it. All right, so crafting. So we're gonna get into kind of the bad things about Diablo here. The crafting system leaves a lot to be desired. So you have, right now, it's just one affix. But I guess my argument against the crafting thing is that you, let's see here. It's still new, and a lot of the major Diablo 2 crafting recipes were not added until later. So that's one thing. So they can always add more crafting recipes and more to crafting. So I'm not gonna get hard up on them for that. What I am gonna get hard up on is pretty much everything else. Every other major complaint about the game. And I'm going to use my coffee as an analogy, okay? This is going to be the coffee analogy. And I think it's a perfect argument against all these issues we have against the game, okay? The way I like my coffee is very, very, very watered down. And because I like my coffee that way, I think everybody else should have their coffee that way. I don't think you should have a choice on the way you want to make your coffee. You should drink it my way, because my way's right. Want to know why my way is right? Is because it's watered down. I don't get over caffeinated. If I don't have my coffee, I don't get caffeine headaches. So when I make my coffee, I get like a little Keurig thingy, and then I put a 1/4 teaspoon of coffee grounds, or a 1/2 teaspoon of coffee grounds in there. And that's the coffee grounds that I use to make my coffee. And it's extremely watered down. And anyone who doesn't drink it like that, well, they're wrong, and you just have to drink it the way I like it. Because I'm right. Right? So that's what we're going to use. Alright, so complaint number 1. Only 4 players per game. What's up with that? Why are there only 4 players? Okay? We're going backwards. Okay? Diablo 2 had 8 players. I don't remember how many players Path of Exile had. I think it was at least 6 per party. Maybe it was up to 8. I don't remember. But 4 people per party. What's the deal with that? Who thought of that? Why do you force other people to enjoy the game the way you want the game to be enjoyed? It's not the way you want us to drink your coffee. It's the way we like to drink our own coffee. Everybody likes something different. So the more limit you put on players and on everything else, the more you're forcing your way of playing upon the players. It's not you who decide what's a great game, it's the players who decide. It's ridiculous. All right, so only 4 players, but and then not only this, we could only play 4 players except during the boss encounter. Now all of a sudden you can have 20 players in that level. Why can't we just have 8 players together? If I want to play with some friends and family members together, we can only have a party of 4, and now there's, if we have 6 people, now we only have 2 parties of 3 instead of a party of 6. It's less fun that way. More people is more fun. So that's issue number 1, 4 players per game. Issue number 2, the skill bar. Why are we only limited to 6 skills? Diablo 3 was the same way, and I hated that. And now we get the same thing again. Diablo 2 is on console, and you can still remap many, many more skills than just 6. Path of Exile is on console, and you could do a lot more skills than that. And you're even limited by skills on Path of Exile by how much gear. Technically in Diablo, you should be able to use every skill your character has. Why not? Why not? It would be more fun to switch on the fly without doing other stuff. It just makes the game that much more engaging. And if some people only want to use 6 skills, let them use 6 skills. If some people want to use 12 skills, let them use 12. Why are they forcing their coffee on us? Blizzard, why are you forcing your coffee on us? Let the player decide how they want to play the game. All right. Waiting for NPCs walking. What in the world are you guys thinking on that, okay? Think of your favorite movie. Let's just say Avengers Endgame, because that's a decent movie that everybody likes, okay? Now, how many times can you watch Avengers Endgame? All right, maybe 3 times. After 3 times, I think I'm pretty much done watching a movie, okay? But in this game, every time you want to make a new character to play through the game with a different character, you're forced to watch that movie again. And again. And again. And you're forced to watch those people walking. Yeah, you could skip some of the stuff, but you can't skip those people walking. It's outrageous. I don't know who thought of that, but they should be fired because Diablo 2 had none of that. None of that. Path of Exile, none of that. Okay? Diablo 3 had a ton of that crap. And it just makes... Who's going to play through that? I don't know. I'm not going to play through that. I'm not going to buy an expansion. Alright, I didn't buy Diablo 3 expansion, and I won't buy a Diablo 4 expansion if they cannot change those waiting for NPCs walking. All right. So she walks. She's standing in on the front of the cathedral, and then now you gotta wait for the lady to slowly walk all the way to the back of the cathedral. Okay. How about you just put the lady in the back of the cathedral and leave her there, and then you go talk to her there. Okay. It's a very easy change that would make quality of life better. There's no reason why the lady's gotta walk. Okay, same thing with the exorcism levels, okay? The lady's talking out in the front. You talk to the lady in the front, you go down into the cellar, and then now she's gotta walk all the way from the freaking door all the way to where the exorcism is gonna happen. Yeah, if that stays in the game, there's no way in hell I'm buying the expansion. Not a chance in hell. Okay, this is how you change that. Somebody else stands at the front door. Hey, can you help us? You go downstairs. Okay, the lady's already there at the end. Okay, you go talk to her. Doesn't change anything. The only thing it changes is not having to wait an hour, an hour for the lady to walk over. Because eventually, however many times you play through the game, that time is going to add up big. It's going to add up real big. So, all the walking, the waiting for walking, and then a lot of the stupid mundane quests, like putting a piece of wood in the fire. It's funny because even Blizzard knows, even the people who made the game know that that's really stupid, because they even put on the last thing to select that you scribble nonsense on the wood because this is really stupid. Because it is. It's really stupid. How about just... Oh my gosh. Come on. You know it's stupid. We know it's stupid. Everybody knows it's stupid. Get rid of that. Whose idea was that? So every time we want to start a new character, we have to go through that nonsense. It's really... That's what it is it's nonsense. Doesn't add anything to the story. Nothing. Zero, zip, zilch. It's just a piece of thingy to click on to waste your time. I don't know what... This is an ARPG. Action. A is for action. Alright. It makes you wonder how much more of that stuff is in the game. Okay, I gotta hurry up and move. I've been rambling. Alright, dungeons repeating. Everybody's been over this, okay? And I know how I've got a fix for it. Why? You go to one dungeon. Each dungeon has its own particular layout. Okay? So now the gamers who know what they're doing, they go to that specific layout and they farm it because it's their favorite over and over and over and over and over again. Well, that gets mundane and repeated, but then you say, well, the gamer doesn't have to farm that same dungeon over and over and over again. Yeah, they do. If they want to be competitive, you have to... If you want to be competitive, and you don't have as much time to play as a lot of other players, you do what's competitive. So you're kind of forced into it. So I know there's a couple ways to do this. One way is to randomize all the dungeons. Every dungeon should be completely randomized. Okay? That's one way. The way number two is to put like a 20-minute timer per dungeon and have them automatically reset. So instead of manually resetting each dungeon, it should stay empty, and then after 20 minutes, then it resets. So now... you can't be forced to run the same dungeon. Now you have to run like 4 dungeons. Now you run 4 dungeons. So then they don't have to change the layouts, but we're still running 4 different dungeons. Or they can randomize all of them, so it doesn't matter what dungeon you go in. They're all completely built randomly with random mods. Random rooms and places. You know, random layouts. We're not talking about the graphical representation of the dungeon. We're talking about the dungeon layouts. How they're all, like, every time I go to this particular dungeon, the Black Asylum, the layout is the same. It might just be rotated. That's what we're talking about as far as the dungeon layouts. They need to be all randomized. Or lock us out for 20 minutes. Now we're forced to do different dungeons. Where now we... Yeah. Okay. The world leveling up with you. I know this ain't gonna change no matter what I say, but it's bad. Doesn't work. Because I don't know how to fix this either. I would say redo the whole... Maybe they'll have a big patch where they redo it all, but I don't really see a way to fix how the world really levels up with you. Maybe... because you just can't... You're just gonna find them... The problem with the world leveling up is people... Oh gosh, I'm trying to think here. I guess the problem is people who are really, really good are just gonna be annihilating everything. We're gonna find that build. It's gonna be the meta, and then we're gonna blast through everything. And even though we're gonna try to go farther ahead, everything's still gonna be kind of easy. The people who suck at the game are gonna get annihilated because they suck. And they're still gonna do their veteran difficulties because I see the complaints. I see the complaints about the butcher. Oh, he was too hard. He kicked my butt. But I'm playing on veteran difficulty because they have to, because they want to get the same drops. So each area needs to be a specific level. And then maybe hell difficulty would be all a flat level, and then you can enjoy whatever part of the game you would like in hell. But yeah, so Diablo 2 did it right, where you each zone had a specific level. Another thing I don't really like is how much walking there is. There's a ton of walking in this game. It's kind of like WoW, World of Walking. Okay, I never got into WoW either. I played it for about 7 days. Not even 7. I played it for 4 days of the 7-day free trial. And it was I called it World of Walking. Because all you do is walk everywhere. And it's like, I'm just walking. I don't know. Look, I'm walking right here. Look. Just walking. There's nothing. Looking for enemies. Walking. Compare that to Diablo 2 or Path of Exile, and there's just mobs upon mobs upon mobs. Even in Act 2 of normal mode, there was a lot more mobs in Diablo 2. So the lack of mobs concerns me in the amount of walking. It's definitely not fun. Okay? Alright, and then one last thing is the lack of trading. Here we go again. They're telling us how to drink our coffee. Why? Why limit the game? Why are you forcing us to play the game the way you want us to play it? Why can't we play the way we want to play? What's wrong with the way we want to play? You know better? They know better. They know what we like better than we know what we like. Right? Think about that. Stop trying to tell us how you want us to drink our coffee. We drink it the way we want it. So yeah, the lack of trade is a big one. Trading creates friendships. Trading allows you to... I mean, look at the druid. Alright? The druid sucks, okay? So now you have to get... You gotta use your sucky druid to try to get druid items. Like, they suck. It would be much better to use like a necro or a wizard to get through there. okay? Get through the game. It's not you're just punishing druid players, I guess. I don't know. And then the balance of this game, like I don't know what like my question to Blizzard is, did you guys even play the game before you released the beta? No way they played this game. No way these guys are playing this game. How could you think that the druid is at all on par with the necromancer or the sorceress? I mean, did you guys even play the game? Like, are the people who are making this game playing the game? Ask yourself that. There's no way they're playing the game if that's what they released at level 20, 25. Has anybody seen the necromancer minion explode? Has anybody seen that? Where they just, they're invulnerable, they're floating through, and corpse exploding everything? And I'm done because people are hungry. So those are my thoughts on the game. Thank you.